Gulfstream Park.
It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon and welcome everybody to another fabulous Friday edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, coming to you live from 10 Palms Restaurant at Gulfstream Park, Hallandale Beach, Florida. And we got a special one today, Jeff Defo DeForest. Look who's to my right.
Well, you got me out here in left field.
I got you in left field.
Hello, people.
We haven't forgotten you. I know you missed yesterday's great edition at Jackson's.
Well, you aced me out when you had the kitchen sink.
Because we had some special luminaries. And
what happened? What happened? You didn't go?
Well, he had some babes coming on the show, and Mayo likes to show off like he's actually sophisticated when women are around, and he didn't want me to spoil it for him.
The head of the local Visit Lauderdale, Stacy Ritter, who is she was a respectable, former politician. I've known her a long time, and we've patched things up. We've had our differences in the past, but I just figure it's better to keep Defo away from some of the luminaries, so we because we try to keep things Defo is fine. It's me you got to keep away from some people because the splatter of the hot dogs and the ice cream that dribbles down my face.
Who is this guy? All right.
Oh yeah, I forgot to introduce him.
About your eating
Who is this guy? All right, legendary broadcaster. Again, we've had three legends and icons this week. We had Tropical Acres.
Yes, Jackson.
We had Jackson's Ice Cream Parlor, and now we have the one and only Tony Segreto.
Yeah.
Legendary sportscaster, news anchor, got us through Hurricane Andrew, for those of us who are old enough and to remember that horrible day in August of 1992. But Tony Segreto, welcome back. Your second appearance on the Lunchbox.
I said I think I'm going to make this a Friday
a tradition,
Friday staple.
Yeah. Free racing.
We've somehow calmed them into like
they're 12
every
bucks
week
ahead
we show
already.
up.
Yeah.
They give us racing forms, they give us drinks, they give us lunch, and we talk a little bit. And we have a great time. It really is spectacular. And your second time on the Lunchbox, and coincidentally, the second time at Gulfstream Park.
At Gulfstream Park,
I don't think it's a coincidence.
Yeah. What do you make of that? You see a pattern there, Mayo?
Segredo's a degenerate at heart. We talk about that a lot on our show.
I would have liked to have been to Jackson's.
Yeah, and boy, we had.
Did your daughter boycott the show? By the way, she was on the schedule.
First of all, she said when she heard that we were coming in on Thursday, which my daughter works at Jackson's. She works at the front window doing the takeout orders. When she heard we were coming in to do a show yesterday on a work day, she said, "I'm going to call out."
And was she there?
I said, "Natalia, you can't do
No,
that.
she was not there.
You got it." I said, "But let's have a deal." I said, Linda might have you want to deliver the new special Dine Out Lauderdale creation. They made a kitchen sink for one for the Dine Out Lauderdale promotion upcoming in August.
That's big.
It is big because usually you have to be with a whole large group. But now for the first time, as part of the promotion, they've created the sink for one. I call it the solo sink. And we unveiled it on the show yesterday. I thought it'd be a nice touch if maybe my daughter would come out in her little uniform and present it. She wanted no part of that. I said, okay, then let's have a deal. I won't look at you. I'll ignore you. I don't know you, and you don't know me.
You sure it wasn't your ex-wife that was on the ship?
Sounds like my
after her in a lot of
approach
ways.
on that one.
Yeah.
How many of those do you have?
He's got a bigger collection than me. I stopped at
What do you
one.
have? Trips?
I stopped at one, but it's all good.
I stopped at one a long time ago.
Tony, it's such a delight to have you here, and this is summer racing season, which at Gulfstream, we have the winter
to Tony
meet.
Segreto.
Here's a
toast.
Say
When did he become a
salute,
toast guy?
l'chaim,
Legendary stuff.
Shandani, all the things that we wish long life and good health to everybody in our Lunchbox audience. And what do you think of the summer racing scene here? Obviously, used to be at Calder back in the day, and that was great because I would remember seeing Hank Goldberg up in the dining room there all the time and in the press box yelling at Jesse.
It was great. It was, I'll never forget this. We used to do a show. We called it The Three Live Jews because it was Ed Kaplan, Hank Goldberg and me, right? We were at Calder Race Course. They couldn't treat us any better. I mean, it was magnificent. And Hank had this kind of thing like Segredo, where, everybody wanted to be on their game. Maybe even more so, because Tony's nice. If they missed something, he wasn't going to call him out on it while he was getting a freebie. And they would literally bring Hank like pheasant under glass, which they don't even have on the menu. And then he would look around and go, "What? No mustard? What kind of place is this?" And start bitching.
You talk about Hank wanting to be, you have to be on your game when you're with Hank.
Yeah.
When he was with me, he was always on his game because he said, Jesus, God, I got to. I got to be on the game. I got to be on. We did a live shot from San Diego one night.
Dolphins game.
Dolphins game,
mm-hmm.
And they screwed it up so bad.
I could hear this. I heard him from San Diego screaming at the producers.
He just, God Almighty.
Wait. I can't imagine. He seems such a calm, mellow
That's
dude.
the funny thing.
He wasn't really bad. I mean, Tony knew him as well as anybody. But I mean,
he was a gentleman. I really enjoyed going out to meals with him. Going to Joe's Stone Crab with him is one of the greatest treats you can ever have. And I miss him. But
God forbid something should go wrong on the air.
God forbid you should be behind him at the ticket window up in the old Calder press box where poor Jesse, really nice guy. And, Hank would be calling. He'd run up to the window with about 10 seconds. 3 horses are already in. He's got 2 more left to load. And he's shouting out, "Give me a $10 part wheel on the 7 with the 2-7, with the 2-8-9. And then, I'm trying to get in my one little, $10 win bet. I got no shot. And then Jesse's, pushing away. And then Hank gets it, goes, "You got it wrong." And his face would get red.
And, Rock Forche. Remember Rock Forche? He was also a teller up there in the press box.
I remember Rock back in the day.
I tell you what's not. I'm glad you brought this up, the old days at Calder, because there was a groom there who also was an Olympian named Ronnie Holassie. And last night I turned on the news and there was a story about Ronnie, and apparently he's in some kind of, he has a health problem of some sort and is really struggling. And it was odd because, this was a guy that literally was a factor in Summer Olympic Games. He was a marathon runner
too, and then also was training for Olympic marathon.
Yeah. No, it was an interesting duality that he had going on.
I remember who wrote a award-winning feature on him, one Dave Joseph.
Oh, Joseph,
who is now the Vice President of Communications and Public Relations here at Gulfstream
Dave
Park.
Joseph is.
Yes, he's been here for years, actually.
Yeah, I don't know if he's in today or if he might be on vacation this week. I would love to get him up here to have him come by and say hi to the whole crew here.
Once word gets out around the track that Segredo's up here.
That's the thing.
we may have to bail out because Joe Beige run out of seats.
Just by his presence alone, we've elevated from the 20,000 claimer up to the stakes ranks.
Or at least cheap allowance fillies at this point. Yeah, that's for sure.
Hey, speaking of racing, we've got a contest to conduct. Should we get right to it?
Yeah, let's go to the contest.
Because later on,
I'd be curious to see how Tony, what his reaction is to the actual concept.
The contest itself. So what happened is Dave Joseph, who knows me, he's been following the show and the development of it and the lunchbox. Of course, we talk about food, but we also talk about sports. We have some fun. And Dave Joseph thought it might be good to start doing shows out here at Gulfstream. And the whole thing was maybe try to peg it around a contest that involved both food and horses, and would be giving away a pair of tickets to the Sunday brunch buffet that Joe Beja we were talking about
here this
before.
Sunday. It was amazing.
This past Sunday, we had one of our Sunday brunch bashes for the lunchbox. We had 4 different sets of contest winners out. We had Lubie and his wife and me and a guest. And we also had a bunch of people we invited to pay a discounted
rate. A lot of freebie artists, basically.
Well, no, but there was a bunch of
good
people that came out that paid. I think we had
they did. Okay.
14 paying guests, although 2 of them were children under 5. And what I learned last week, part of the great thing of this Sunday brunch buffet, besides being a great value, it's $50 per person. It includes your one mimosa, along with the whole great spread, the omelet station, the carvery, the seafood, the pile of shrimp, the desserts, the pastries, all great stuff for $50. Last week, we got a discounted rate of $40 for people who came out. It was a good crew, but there was families that came out. It's a family-friendly place.
It is.
You can bring kids. Kids under 5 eat free. Kids from 6 to 12 get half price, so they get in for $25. It's a great deal. We came up with the contest, and you did the contest. You helped conduct it last time you were out here. We were out on the apron, a little bit warmer. But you pick a winner. You have to give a winner of the race of the week.
Race of the week.
Which we're going to give out. And then you have to come up with the name of the restaurant after I give a series of clues. You send both of those components, the winning horse number and the name of the restaurant, to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow. That will be Saturday, July 29th. And you get both of those things in. If you get both that right and you're the only one, you win. If you're more than one people, more than one people, I speak real good English, Tony.
Yeah.
If Tony, who never flubbed a word in his life, in 40 some odd years of
I'm
television,
a writer, not
amazing.
a broadcaster.
I've never seen anybody like this guy. Puts us all to shame.
Anyway, you send those two components to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow, Saturday. And if more than one person gets both components, we do a tiebreaker drawing out of a hat on Monday's show.
No, you did the contest before. Do you have any idea what he's talking about?
Yes.
I don't get it. We've been doing it for a year.
I explained it to him. I explained it to Dave Joseph. They both rolled their eyes like, nobody's going to get this. And lo and behold, I have faith in our audience, Tony. I always, great. We already got some food coming. And look at that. I've got
that looks good.
The daily fish special here
last time
at
when
10
Perk
Palms.
was here, the fish was amazing.
Wow,
It is a nice piece of halibut. I got it for the halibut.
Just for the halibut?
Just for the halibut.
Caesar, right here.
And you know me,
put an order in here.
Defo, I am all about the health kick. I always like to eat.
I like when you go on the momentary health kick.
Mike Mayo.
We got a beautiful platter here. It's got some tomatoes and broccoli and fingerling potatoes and mushrooms, sauteed mushrooms. I don't know what Defo got. Tony got himself a nice salad with a grilled chicken on the side. That's his salad right there.
That's his salad.
That's his salad. Okay, we got
we
got all kinds of
healthy today.
We're going to need a bigger boat, need a bigger table, but it's okay. We'll put Lubie's down there. And we got distracted again on the lunchbox because we're going to do the contest clues. I want Defoe's undivided attention, but I'll let him put his order. He's got to put the order in. All right, let the man eat his food. Before we get to the contest, do you know what day it is today, Tony? Because you're a former news anchor. And if I say the day, July 28th, does that ring any kind of bell on in terms of a calendar? I'll move
July 28th.
July 28th, and in South Florida, we have to be culturally attuned. To different countries and cultures. So this is something I learned from the Food Beat too, Tony, because I didn't necessarily know this before. But
I don't know.
Okay, Lubie, I'm going to give you
you said it before on our show, so I know. So I don't want to cheat.
Okay, now we've got Defo back.
Well, it was a fly in my soup, believe it or not. I sent it back very graciously.
You're going to post about it on the Let's Eat South Florida group?
You know what? I would have fished it out myself, and I thought, you know what? Maybe they'll just bring me another one. That would be great.
114,000. It's like
You're up to
114,000.
114,000.
It's growing by 1,500 a week. It's
you were at 113 at the beginning of this
monster, this monstrous thing. All right, let's see if
it's because of your popularity and.
Yeah, it's all Mayo.
I mean, just effervescent personality.
But people sometimes they know my true colors. Right?
Well, and then one guy, he scoped you out and he said, I don't know, Tony, you never got any hate mail, did you, in your years of TV?
Tony was everybody's friend.
Everybody loved this guy.
I was going to say, did anyone not like Segredo?
Is there anybody, if you didn't like Segredo, you had to Baker act yourself. I mean, there was something wrong with you.
He wasn't the investigative reporter who would show up after, he was like
hating Tony.
He's doing all
the one that
the charity balls.
Shula befriended. You're the one that was on Shula's bad side from day one.
Oh, I was Charlie Bricker's associate and underling, and
guilt by association.
And Shula, Bricker came in. Shula and him did not hit it off. They hated each other. Well, they didn't hate each other.
I think the only person Shula wanted to see less was Al Lombardo. Well, who I don't know if you remember that guy, but Tony would remember him. Yeah,
Charlie Bricker, me, Al Lombardo. It might have been a tie for second between me and Lombardo.
No, you were.
Lombardo was in the by himself.
You were okay.
Oh, I was okay.
Yeah, you were okay.
I liked Al, but the coaches generally were not favorable to him. Yeah.
All right.
So you're doing clue one.
Let's give Defo. Let's see if
I don't think I'm going to get this Peruvian restaurant.
Did you? Okay. Well, then there you go. You did listen.
You told us this morning.
I was listening to what you had to say.
What day is July 28th?
July 20th is
28th
is Peruvian Freedom
Independence
Day.
Day or
Peruvian
whatever.
Independence Day. There we go. Everybody
You did
gets
it.
an A in their
I mean,
world
you told us.
history course today on the
Are there,
Lunchbox.
I want to say there aren't many Peruvian restaurants in South Florida.
See, by
That's
my house,
ridiculous.
there's like 2.
There's
three
so
by my
many.
house.
So
many.
There's a
Oh,
zillion.
By my house,
He
there's
doesn't
3.
get out much, and all he eats
No,
is
I-
like grilled cheese or something
No,
like
No,
that.
I
Well,
know of
it's-
one that I probably would
Yeah.
be reluctant to go into, which is unfortunate because it's in like a strip mall that is not
A lot of times
particularly
they're in strip
appealing.
malls.
But you know what? You know what?
But it probably is a great place.
Probably
I
really
don't
good.
know.
You know what I've learned?
Yeah.
That strip mall restaurants
Sometimes
are the
good.
best.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, there's low overhead, and usually it's a mom and
I
pop.
don't know which one you're
and
using, so I
it's,
don't want to give
here,
away
you
the
need
ones
a
by my
hand with
house.
that? I'll
but
get that for you, Tony.
Yeah.
Let's see if
There's
my
2
hand is
great
set. You
ones
got
by
it?
my house,
Okay.
and there's a third one that I haven't
And,
tried.
and if Mayo reaches onto your plate for a piece of that chicken with his
Yeah.
hand, don't worry about
Oh
it.
yeah,
Just
Don't worry
proceed as
about
if
it.
nothing
Just let's
unusual
act
was
like that's
happening.
I
normal.
just washed
Yeah.
my hands. It's all good. Let's get
Jesus.
this in the bucket. They're so classy here at Gulfstream. They bring a bucket with ice.
I
All
might
the
pick
little
out one of
touches.
these potatoes.
That's the other thing I wanted to
You
say.
should do it. You should
At
just
the
grab it.
brunch last week,
Good job.
did you
That's a
notice
great
like all the little touches on
Yeah.
that buffet line, like all the garnishes and the accoutrements and the condiments, like
The what?
when the
Oh,
accoutrements.
nice.
The
Okay.
accoutrements.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know, it's
The
a
mustard.
fancy word of
yeah.
saying the stuff that comes
the
on the
mayonnaise.
side.
Yeah.
What you went by the carvery with the prime rib and the turkey, and they had a chimichurri sauce. They had a horseradish cream sauce. They had straight horseradish. They
Yep,
had another kind of au jus dressing. They had so many different
A
things.
Jew?
Au jus, not
Oh,
not
a
a
Jew.
Jew, not
Yeah.
like
Not
you
a
and
Jew.
me
Au
and
jus.
Lubie. Au jus, juice.
It was nice. It was really
but
good. They
all
always do a
those
great
little
job.
touches, Joe Beja and his crew here at Gulfstream and 10 Palms, they do a great job. And I'm
Yep.
going to say salute again to everybody. I'm going to have a piece of fish after I get done with the first 2 clues. And
you haven't eaten
hasn't
anything yet,
been-
Michael. It's not good.
well,
And
Let's
Tony
get to the
Tony eats
clues.
very
He's been
slowly and
teasing the
deliberately.
clues.
but that's okay.
If you're
like a
counting on
month.
Tony to
I'm
finish
trying
that
to
during the
conduct a
show,
little
forget it.
business over here.
All right.
And here we go. It's Peruvian Independence Day. There are lots of great Peruvian restaurants. You know, what's the classic dish that many people love to eat, especially in
That I
summertime?
don't know. Yeah, I'm
Steak.
not that familiar with it.
Steak.
Ceviche.
Well, ceviche. I was gonna say
Ceviche.
ceviche.
Oh, okay.
Ceviche.
Which is, of
Actually,
course,
there's a ceviche place right around the corner. Looks attractive. here.
exactly. That's Peruvian.
Probably
Yeah.
Peruvian.
There's
mostly.
all kinds of cevicherias, as they're
Yeah.
known.
Cevicheria.
There's basically a place just down the block here in Hallandale Beach called Dr. Limon. It's a regional chain. There's like 5 or 6 of them. They do a really good job with ceviches. There's a place called Senor Ceviche.
That's all they
There's,
serve. That's all they serve.
yeah, and then Ceviche 105. Now they have a full menu of rice
I
dishes
have
and
no idea
lomo saltado.
which one, because the ones by me that we know well
Yep.
do great ceviche, plus the chaufas, which is like a fried rice with like
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
Latin
Yeah, well, it's
flair.
a mix between the South American
Well, there'll
and
be
Asian,
seafood in
because
it, and
Peru has a huge influx of former like immigrant workers, a whole bunch of Chinese and Japanese, which leads to the chaufa and the Nikkei cuisine, and that brings us to the contest. Okay, here we go. For this week's restaurant, we celebrate Peruvian Independence Day with a Peruvian restaurant.
there you go.
So here's clue number 1. This Peruvian restaurant is in Miami's Design District, and it
Okay.
features Nikkei cuisine, which is a blend of Peruvian with Japanese influences. And the restaurant started as a small stall in a food hall before expanding to a full-scale restaurant nearby a couple of years ago. Okay, that's clue number 1.
All right.
Okay.
I have no chance. At
You
this.
got no shot at
Zero.
that.
Yeah.
Tony, I don't know. I don't know
Tony's
if Tony
familiar with
has
Miami
ever been there.
Design District.
But it used to be, it started off as a food hall that was known as the St. Roque Food Hall.
Lubie,
It's
you have
now
any idea?
rebranded.
I don't know
because
Miami
Nothing.
Peruvian.
Yeah, nothing.
It's right. Oh, I got fish in my mouth. Man,
Fish in
did they cook that well?
That looks good.
Leave
Now,
a
what is
little.
it,
I
a
want to
sea
taste
bass?
it, but I'm not reaching over.
That
cigar.
melted in my mouth. Literally.
They do a really good job with
No,
fish
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Go for it. Look at Tony.
Yeah,
He's
Tony-
a man.
Tony's
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
but he
Tony's
uses a
already
fork at
reaching out of
least.
the
He's a
potatoes.
Yeah,
gentleman.
but do I recoil in horror? No. Enjoy.
But it was a
Everybody
fork.
shares.
He's
He didn't
using
put
a
his
fork. He's a
fingers in it.
gentleman. He's not a slob.
You would have
man.
gone like this
Yeah.
in the middle of it.
Hmm.
Like he used his fork. Like he's a gentleman.
You're not going to
I don't know
shake
what
Tony
you
into
are.
being an animal like you are when it comes to
There's no way.
scarfing the food on the show.
There's no way Tony could ever plumb the depths of both manners and style that I do,
No.
because
No.
Tony is a class
He's
individual.
classy.
Once you're a man of distinction,
They
that's
put
it.
him in all these halls of fame. Me,
Yeah.
they say, Mike, could you maybe come back later after business hours?
The usual reaction when we leave a place that we haven't been before, where they're not that familiar with you, is that was the food critic for the Sun Sentinel? Which one was it? They think it was Lubie, maybe.
exactly
Yeah.
I think Lubie's got to put together a best of reaction clip.
I'm having no
when we were with the
when you're
new
eating,
head football coach at FAU earlier this year at Great Talia's Tuscan
Tom
Table up in
Herman,
Boca. Tom Herman is the new coach. I unhinged my jaw and I did a huge bite of something, and he just what was his reaction? Is like
Horror.
He recoiled.
He was scared.
Yeah.
He was
scared.
actually scared to death. Yeah.
He just said that
He
was.
watched grown men hit each other every day for a
And
living.
then yesterday was Stacy Ritter, and I ate that huge, unbelievable. What do they call it? The artillery
The
hot
hot
dog,
dog, yeah.
a pound of meat, and it's like so wide and smothered with cheese and bacon. And I took a bite of that, and stuff was spraying. And she said, "That's disgusting."
Well, and it was a time you broke your jaw at Gilbert's.
Time I drove,
you had to have it wired.
on the Rice Krispie treat. That was unbelievably a huge thing. All right,
So that was clue one.
that was clue
Let's go
one.
to
How
clue
about clue
two.
two?
Yeah,
May
let's
as
go to
well
clue
give them
two.
all. Yeah.
No,
At
I
least the
saved
first
I
two.
saved
Joe likes
clue
the
number
third
3
one.
for Joe Beja because
Joe likes
that's
the third
his thing. This is a really tough one this week. You might have to go to the Google machine, folks. Okay.
Yeah, that guy, hyena.
Clue number 2.
That guy.
This
hyena, I
will
guess,
open
is
up
their
the clue
chicken.
to foodies out there, people who
Alright.
pay attention to the food world. This
Tony, you
restaurant-
have any idea? Are you close on this?
not yet.
No?
It's
No.
okay.
Miami
Maybe this
Design
one.
District, Peruvian.
If you follow the food world, this one might give it to you. This restaurant is run by a family trio known as the Chang Gang.
Okay.
They're
Changs.
all chefs.
Oh.
Father
I think that's
Fernando,
Peruvian.
son Nando, and daughter Valerie. They're known as
Wait,
the
our
Chang
Nando
Gang.
downstairs?
No, not Nando downstairs who
Oh.
goes walk it off, walk it off, walk it
The
off.
2 finger snap.
No, we're talking about Fernando, Nando, and Valerie. They're known as the Chang Gang.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
a Peruvian family. They've worked all around town. They're all talented chefs.
Okay.
And the trio has been lavish with critical acclaim and awards, including James Beard Award recognition and Michelin Guide recognition. They didn't get a Michelin star, but they got what's known as a Bib Gourmand, which is for more affordably priced and not as fancy restaurants. But it is a very impeccable restaurant. So again, run by the Chang Gang. That's Nando, Fernando, and Val. And James Beard Award and Michelin Guide recognition for this restaurant. Any clue?
No,
Anybody?
Could you
It's a
come up with
toughie.
like Denny's or something? I mean, it'd be a lot easier. Are
could
you
put
trying
in
to make
PF
sure there
Chang's.
aren't too many
Hey, by the
people?
way, last
Yeah.
week, we did have a Argentinian restaurant in celebration of the arrival of Messi,
berries.
Yeah.
and it was Barry's Grill, shortened for I guess Buenos Aires. Barry's Grill. There's like 6 of them around.
Yeah.
But a lot of people got the wrong restaurant last week, more than usual, because I guess there's another Argentine restaurant on Las Olas Boulevard called Argentango or something like that. But one of the clues was that the name comes from the capital city.
Yeah. You were specific.
And people, you got to listen to that third clue because a lot of times it really helps clarify.
Gives it away, actually.
So
It's a dead
it does
giveaway. Yeah.
give away. So anyway, this
Are we,
one
are we
though,
going to get a good one this
it
time?
won't be a dead giveaway. You will have to know Japanese in order to understand the third clue, and Japanese might be a clue to the overall name of this
There you go.
restaurant. Anyway,
All right. what
we're
else
here
you
on the
got?
Lunchbox. I think it's a good time that I could dive into my halibut
But
and maybe take our first break.
Well, we haven't.
but we
we've
gotta
been
talk
out and about all week, so we haven't gotten to talk about some. You did talk about Delaware yesterday, but the place we were, and my days get confused, but we were there Tuesday. A place that you've talked about since the beginning, a place Defo's talked about over the years.
a place that
was
Let's Eat
great to
South
be in
Florida
person.
loves to
It was
talk
great.
about.
Great to be in person at a place
Oh,
that
yeah.
every time we go there, I forget. I'm so confused as to why it's quote unquote divisive, because
I call
literally
it-
there's no reason to
You
be
made it that way.
divisive.
I call it a polarizing place.
It's great food with great service. What else could you want? And we're tremendous. Great
Some
food with great
people,
service.
I don't know why, or like you
We're
said,
talking about Tropical Acres, obviously.
Oh, Tropical Acres
Yeah.
Steakhouse.
Yeah, I wanna say the name.
You've been many times,
Who
right?
hasn't been there? It's
I
amazing.
think Tony's picture's on the wall. As one of the
Probably.
celebrities. Yeah.
Well, now I've got a mouthful of fish, but Tropical Acres. What a time we had there! I mean,
Yep.
Jack Studiali and his son Joe, and calls him his adopted son Jackson, who came in as a 15-year-old looking for a job from a nearby home, and came in and said, "Come back when you're 16." Jack
And the kid
Studiali
did.
hired him on the spot at age 16. Worked his way up from busboy and dishwasher, waiter, every part, and now he is a partner. He's considered part of the Studiali family,
Nice.
and works at the front of the house. one of the managers, along with Joe. And man, we had a great discussion with them. Better yet, they brought out a spread.
Yep.
You wouldn't believe this piece of prime rib. It was ruby red. It was so perfectly cooked in my book. I love a nice rare to medium rare piece of prime rib. What even Defo
that was so delicious. No, I'm a prime rib fan, but I never order it anymore. I used to when I first started going to steakhouses. I really like the prime rib. You get prime rib at banquets sometimes. It's never really what you're, looking for in terms of the way it's cooked and everything, although some of them are good. But this was perfect. And what's funny, I don't know if it was on Let's Eat South Florida or just somebody's personal Facebook page, but they featured a cross section of a prime rib. They pictured it, and it was so overdone by comparison to what we were having there. And they were praising it like, whoa, this is the best prime rib you could find anywhere. But I would dispute that and say Tropical Acres would be the #1 prime rib that you could have here in South Florida.
Because of, if they're older and their immune systems, they do have to eat their, meat a little bit more well done. I understand that. Dickstein, for whatever reason, orders an end cut.
Why'd you have to bring him up? We got Tony's bringing up Steve Dickstein.
My friend that we've been working on developing a new app up in Delray called Best of Delray Beach, and Dickstein, he likes to eat. We like to go out to dinner at all kinds of restaurants all over. I brought him to Tropical Acres for the first time, and nobody listens to me sometimes. And he insisted on ordering an end cut of prime rib well done. And I was like, why would anybody do that unless they like
well done,
overdone meat?
Self-sabotage.
It was self-sabotage. It did not come out to
it wasn't
his
like that when we got
liking. And I was like, well, that's what you ordered. But Tropical Acres, they will bring it to you however you want, even if you order wrong. And and if you don't like it, they'll take it back and make it right. That's part of what is the whole appeal. It's old school hospitality. They're in the yes business. They want to please you. They don't want you running off to Yelp or Let's Eat, complaining about a meal 3 hours later. They want you to say something to them, and they will bring you something else that will make you a happy, satisfied customer. I love them. They've been there since 1949. I don't understand anybody who doesn't love them because, what's not
if you
to love?
It's not like they, are forcing you to go.
Well, the thing is, there's nothing wrong with other kinds of places. We get it, flash and glitz and glamour. We're sitting next to a man that embodies glitz and glamour, Antonio Segredo. But that doesn't mean places that are old school are bad as well. Like there's room, like you say, for everything, and there's definitely room for Tropical Acres.
There's room for some night you want a great value and you go to a chain place. That's why you go to Texas Roadhouse. Some nights you want kind of classic old Florida feel and you go to Tropical Acres. Sometimes you want the glitz and the glamour of the beach and you go to Steak 954 where that has the glowing jellyfish and the tanks and that's something that you're going to pay twice the price.
I don't want to pay an extra $60 to see a jellyfish.
People do.
And I'm sorry. I could go to the beach and get stung by one.
Tropical Acres.
I'm
perfectly happy.
I like going.
You go for that stuff.
I go to the happy hour in the bar. Even on a Friday night, they have happy hour at Tropical Acres from 4 to 6:30.
Yeah.
Every drink in the house, Tony, including my Belvedere martinis, I get them for $8 down on Las Olas. They're $25 now. Half price, happy hour. Great light bites. Then you go into the dining room. You get the $39 twin lobster special that comes with a salad and a side dish for $39. You can't beat that deal. You go in on Monday, Tuesday, you get the half price wine. You got your loyalty reward card for every 12 entrees that you purchase. You get the 13th one on the house. I tell you, people, I feel like Crazy Eddie. Crazy Eddie. They're so Tropical Acres. Their prices are insane. It's such a good value. Go there, 2500 Griffin Road. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
He needs a fight doctor. He needs like a cut man. All right, Tony Segredo, our special guest here. The clam chowder here is dynamite. I really love it. You are partaking.
What's the version on the fish, guys? Do you like
the fish? Is tremendous.
I say the way it's cooked.
The way they cook it is it's not only flavored well, but the way they cook it is so nice.
It's like a gentle poaching. It's so good. I hate when fish gets hammered past the point of recognition.
That looks good.
How fish ought to be.
Very proud of you. All right, we're coming back more with our special guest Tony Segredo. We got Mike Lubie Lubitz, and of course the Gambling Gourmet is in fine form today, and we'll be back with more in a moment.
Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi, fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. This August, Visit Lauderdale invites everyone under the sun to indulge in the annual Dine Out Lauderdale promotion. This year's options will be more diverse than ever, with fine dining restaurants, casual eateries, and even your favorite cafes and ice cream parlors part of the mix. From August 1st through 31st, scores of restaurants will be offering multi-course meals at discounted prices starting at just $45 per person. Diners can also enjoy sweets and treats, brunches, happy hour specials, and exclusive culinary experiences. This year's lineup includes 3030 Ocean, Foxy Brown, and Lasso Gaucho in Fort Lauderdale, Even Keel Fish Shack and Aruba Beach Cafe in Lauderdale by the Sea, Cafe Max in Pompano, The Cook and the Cork in Coral Springs, Union Kitchen and Bar in Wilton Manors, and more. Restaurants are being added by the day. For the full Dine Out Lauderdale lineup and all the details, go to dineoutlauderdale.com. Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, Even Keel Fish Shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
We're back on the Lunchbox Friday at Gulfstream, 10 Palms. It's on the second floor. It's overlooking the track. It's a great place to be to come watch the races. We're commenting about how good the food is. Your soup, Defo?
Clam chowder is excellent, and I can't wait to get into this caprese avocado salad. It looks delicious.
Your salad, Tony Segreto? Outstanding. Lubie, your whatever you had?
I haven't dug into the Caesar yet, but their clam chowder, look, it's interesting because we talk about being at the track and the kind of food you can or can't get at the track. And first of all, downstairs and
the concession stands are good.
They do a really good job. The bowls, the
yeah,
pizza, sandwiches, they do a nice job.
Joe B getting it done. That's why every other week he gets a promotion. It's a new title.
He's probably running the place now.
But the clam chowder to me is as good as any clam chowder I've ever had. It's really well seasoned.
I mean, I'm going to go into my critic mode, but it feels like it's almost like poached gently, and it's basted, and it's so tender. And so many times you go out and they just hammer fish to the point of toughness, and it takes all the life out of it. This piece of halibut is 4 stars in my old book, which is 4 stars worth of max, and a gorgeous composition plate with very healthy things around it. We got some nice
some mushrooms
stewed
there.
tomatoes and
Beautiful.
broccoli and sautéed mushrooms and the fingerling potatoes, which are classy.
Those are great. Yeah.
These cost a little bit more money in the store. It's not just the little red bliss potatoes or the roasted. These are the fingerlings. They are the Cadillacs of potatoes.
What is your favorite way to have
sweetness.
potatoes, Mayo?
I do like.
Your
look
favorite
at-
of
look at me.
all styles.
Au gratin.
I'm
Slice
talking
them
about
up,
twice
bake 'em in a
baked.
crust.
I'm
No.
talking about
Au gratin.
restuffed, au gratin.
Au gratin. I just said.
Okay,
Gratin.
au
Look
gratin.
at me.
Great. I
And
love
I'm
au gratin.
sliced
Cheers,
with
Defo.
cheese, cheesy, sliced baked casserole potatoes, au gratin.
Double baked or gratin?
I like the double baked. Yeah, when they put the mashed potatoes back in the potato skin,
With
that is like
cheese.
far
Hey,
and away
talking
the
about a
best.
great potato.
My
I
dad
mean,
made one of the best versions of that of
We-
anybody I've ever had.
we were talking about Runway 84 this week.
Yeah.
The sad news that
Yeah, I got
Vincenzo
Tony must have known
has
this guy.
passed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we get into that, but they do a twice baked potato there now that has become
Like a
a
meal.
Oh, you said it was
standout
great. Yeah.
meal. Is like $19 for this side dish, but you can really feed 3 people as a main course. It's a twice baked potato where they finish it off with like a cacio e pepe sauce, so it's like a little bit of cheese and creaminess, and then they have black pepper, and then they shave black truffles on top of it.
20 bones, it better be pretty good.
That's
That's what
real
you have to
truffle,
say.
I mean.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
first of all,
ridiculous.
the potato there is this big.
Yeah.
It's as big as your head,
It's like a
Defo.
steakhouse.
It's as big as Joe Rose's head.
That's a large
big
potato. Yeah. Joe Rose actually challenged a restaurant in San Antonio one time because they had a billboard up that said burritos as big as your head.
Right.
Okay. So Rose goes in there, and I forget what we were doing, and he says, "Yeah."
Yeah, look
He
at
just
this.
points to his
noggin.
head, and all of a sudden they were like, "Hey, Pedro, Jose, get in there, start
You're gonna
stuffing
need
this
the
thing.
bigger burrito wrapper.
Look what we
right?
got here, man."
That's funny.
I mean, they were in a panic when he walked in.
Hey, I
You
was
gotta
remiss. I don't know if it's because I'm so intimidated
Tomorrow's main
or
race.
in awe, excited of sitting next to legendary Tony Segreto. I forgot to mention what the contest race is this week.
Yeah, what race are we
And
talking about? How
it's-
about the first at Toga?
So it's
No,
going
that
to
wouldn't
be
work.
this week's race at Gulfstream. It's going to be the 7th race on the card of Saturday's program. That's tomorrow, Saturday, July 29th. 7th race. And you're going to send in a number from 1 to 10. It's a 10-horse field. It's a 20,000 claiming race for fillies and mares, a field of 10 scheduled to go 1 mile and 70 yards on the main track. That's that last 70 yards that usually gets us, right?
You know, I mean, maybe
just-
I'm done by the turn.
Okay.
The first turn.
Post time for the 7th is scheduled for 3:36 p.m. and it's a wide open affair. That's why I went with it over the. I guess there was a race later in the day that has a little bit more of a purse, but it was only 7 horses, and I want to make it as challenging as possible. So it's a 10-horse field. Among the entries is a horse ridden by your favorite, Luca Panici, who
Luca.
finished up the track the other day.
Well, I
Unfortunately,
mean, there
at
were only 4
Saratoga.
horses in a race. He was in there against a monster. Come on,
Right, and he
Mayo.
finished 4th.
Oh, he was way back.
But I had the superfecta box 1, 2, 3, 4. It was easy.
There you go. Yeah,
They didn't offer a superfecta.
I wouldn't
for the
imagine.
horse
No,
race.
nobody's taking that
It's a
action.
horse racing humor. XY Lady is Luca's
sorry.
horse
Bring it
tomorrow in that.
He's running a
contest
lot
race.
of bombs down here, though. What's the odds
10
on
to
that?
1. 10
Okay,
to 1. I
no.
do like XY Lady a little bit. I think this one for you, Defo, one of the favorites, Beach Ready. You're always ready to go.
Defo is
Well, I'm
always
right there.
Sand.
That's why I live where I live.
Beach Ready, 3
Yeah.
to 1 with Leonel Reyes. And then a horse, the long shot bomb, but the name I like is Fantastica. And Fantastica,
Okay.
like having fun and
Yeah.
fantastic. My dad always used to say Fantastico.
Oh, you have to
Fantastico.
play that.
So, in honor of my dad, and of course, Bonnie out there, we love Bonnie and her Richie DePacio, her late husband. His lucky number was always number 8, and number 8 tomorrow is a great name also. Love Unlimited, 8 to 1 shot. So wide open affair, 1 to 10. Tony, I'm not going to put you on the spot to give any picks, but if you
Tony
have
give
to
out
pick
the
a
show
number between
favorite here, yeah, the
1
show pick
and
of the
10,
day.
7th race tomorrow, part of the contest, along with the winning restaurant name of the clues that we're
What
going to
race number is that there, Michael
7th
Mayo?
on the Saturday.
7th on the Saturday
So
card.
that's,
Okay.
that will be tomorrow's contest race. The 7th race goes off at 3:36, so we'll know pretty early in the day if we got a lot
Fantastica
of
is a
winners
bomb. You're giving
or
that out?
losers.
Nice.
Fantastico.
Okay.
Fantastico.
Yeah.
All right. So, what else we got on the? Well, I want to talk a little bit Dolphins football, Tony. I mean,
Jalen Ramsey goes down.
What was that? Isn't
It's
that so
ugly.
Dolphins?
Yeah. Is this team jinxed in your opinion?
That's
What
so
do you
Dolphins.
think? Tony?
Now, if you're going to go down, if you're going to go down where you're going to miss some valuable time, go down the
beginning
of the season because they're going to need you later in the season.
For our non-sports audience, can we just explain who this person is? Because I have no idea. When they said, "Oh, he went down," who's this guy? What is he
like
play?
one of the
What's
best
his
corners
position?
in the league, if not the best. Yeah,
cornerback.
He's an all-pro
Came from the
cornerback.
Rams, and they paid a lot of money in a big trade.
It was a
they
trade.
traded for him, and then they
paid him a
also
lot of money. Yeah,
they also gave him an extension.
Who did they give up to get him?
It was actual trade was a great trade on their part. They only gave up like a second or a third rounder for a guy that
maybe the Rams knew he was damaged goods.
Oh, he was going to leave there. Yeah,
the Rams were so over the cap that they're doing what the Niners did in the '90s, where they went all in, won a Super Bowl, and now they have to go and
getting
shed
rid of the
contracts.
parts because the whole salary cap.
Yeah.
But this way, if you're going to go down, so he suffered a knee injury. That's going to keep him out 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
Right. It's a meniscus, a torn meniscus,
yes.
not an ACL, which would be much longer.
Not ACL or PCL or MCL.
So as a result, he's going to miss some time. He's going to miss some early in the season.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to miss time, that's the ideal time to miss.
Okay. Now, the Dolphins, we were talking about this on the morning show. Trivia. When was the last season or last year that the Dolphins won a playoff game? Not appeared, but won a playoff game.
They were in it last year.
Look at this.
Sugar doesn't even
I
know.
don't
he's going back through the let's see, in the 70s there was Zonka.
He was here for the perfect season. Were you here for the perfect season?
He covered the perfect
He
season.
covered the perfect season. He covered the glory days of Marino. He
was
was here when they made their last Super Bowl appearance.
I can't even think of when.
I'm going to give you a little hint. The quarterback who didn't lead them to the victory, but who was the winning quarterback in the last playoff win was Jay Fiedler.
They had a running back.
Look at that face.
The guy went for 200 yards. The running back that game. That was
Ricky
only with him
Williams,
for
right?
like a
Lamar
year.
Smith.
Yeah.
Lamar Smith ran for like 20
it wasn't
yards.
Ricky back then?
No.
Ricky was gone
Prior to Ricky, yeah.
Okay, it's all a jumble of mediocrity. Me, okay,
Yes, early 2000s.
Okay, it was
Lamar
it was the
Smith ran for like
2000
230 yards.
season. The playoff game itself happened in January of 2001. I remember this because I think I was in New Orleans covering a bowl game, and I remember watching the win in my hotel room, but not covering that game. And little did I know that would be the last time the playoff victory came the Dolphins' way. I say it's high time. I used to rag on the that hockey team here, the Panthers, for never winning a playoff series since '98 or whatever it was, and now they finally did get back to the finals. So it's high time the Dolphins.
We haven't had a bowl win. We haven't had a bowl like a
UM or
UM.
Like a major
win.
bowl.
They didn't win one of those Emerald Bowls they were going to every year.
A major bowl, an orange bowl, a sugar
We haven't had a
bowl,
playoff win in a long time. It's about time.
Football's got to step it up.
We get back.
We've had success in basketball with the Heat, hockey. Even
Yes,
the
it's Canes
Panthers made a
basketball.
run.
This is the time.
Even UM basketball and FAU basketball have gone to the Final Four before the Dolphins have gotten a playoff victory. This is getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Mike McDaniel. I'm rooting for Tua Tagovailoa.
I'm not rooting for Tua.
Why?
Tony's like worried about
Do you think
Tua.
it's enough
I didn't
already?
even like
It's
Have we
enough.
seen enough?
I've
And
seen
that's
enough.
where I'm at. Is like, forget about, look, I know McDaniel came in and had a little bit of a honeymoon last year. I went crazy because some of his decisions during games about, going for it instead of kicking short field goals, that drove me nuts. I admire a guy who has a little bit of gumption, but have some common sense too. Take your points when they come. So for me, this is spit or get off the pot year for them. Like, I've had enough.
It's a big year.
And I don't even think, like you said, Tua, we know now, I don't want to say the guy's fragile, but he's one hard hit away from having to retire. So how can you trust that?
You're waiting for him to get hit, and he's not going to get up.
His head's like a soft shell crab, man.
Well,
You
we
eat
don't
the
have-
shell? Yeah,
I
you
don't
go
agree
ahead
with
and eat
any
the
of you
shell.
guys.
Oh, that's terrible.
He should wear one of those little things like you see certain helmets. I was watching some the other night that was Sarny-esque, Jim Sarny-esque.
Well, we have talking
Smash
about
Ball.
class.
You ever
Look
seen
who's
that?
here.
Oh,
So maybe
including
we can take
class.
our
Yeah.
last break
We got
and
to
then
kick
bring
out
in this
Lubie.
gentleman.
We got to go from a
Let me
t-shirt
jump
to
out of here.
a
It's easier for him to get in here.
jacket. Come on
No,
over,
we can
Joe
take a
Beja.
break
Go-
and then
go-
he can come here.
Oh, yeah, we can take our second
Let's
break.
take
We'll
our
come
break
back.
and then we'll bring Joe.
I'm going to quickly talk about Dine Out Lauderdale
Yes.
because we've been talking about it. It's coming up next week, August 1st through 31st. Scores of over 100 restaurants are participating now in Greater Fort Lauderdale, Broward County. It's all part of the great promotion known as Dine Out Lauderdale. Go to dineoutlauderdale.com or visit lauderdale.com/dineout. And restaurants, it's not too late. You can still sign up if you go to that website. Just click on the link, get involved. We got more than, I think it was 18 municipalities all over the county are taking part. It's not just for the high-end tourist restaurants anymore. It's for things like Jackson's Ice Cream Parlor, where for the first time they're going to be giving you a chance to get a kitchen sink just for one person. So you don't have to go find all your friends and get them in there to have a kitchen sink. You can just have it for one. There's going to be some brunch places, cafes, some great restaurants up by where Lubie lives, up in Coral Springs, including Bravo Peruvian Restaurant, which we featured on the show last year. Great place to celebrate Peruvian Independence Day this year. But all these restaurants taking part. I think next week we're going to be going out to a place in Wilton Manors called Union Kitchen and Bar. Great little place run by a husband and wife that has a nice patio in the back, really good wine list because the husband, Roberto, who runs the place, is a sommelier. And, of course, the wife is the chef. And it's going to be a fantastic time. I think we're going to stop out there on Wednesday, but they're taking part. DineOutLauderdale.com. Get all the details August 1st through 31st. All right, and we'll come back after these words with Joe Beja, the Executive Director of Hospitality at Gulfstream Park, and legendary Tony Segredo. After these words, Defo 2.
Beach Cafe. It's a South Florida landmark, and it's one happy restaurant right on the water. Tables literally on the beach. A place where you could dip your toes in the sand, kick back, relax with island vibes, tropical drinks, and live music daily. You know it. It's at One Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. And of course, it has Chef Chris Nealon and his famed Caribbean Floridian cuisine. The huge menu with something for everyone. Seafood, raw bar, conch fritters, burgers, sandwiches, salads, deli specials, and of course, that famous Bimini bread. They've got a great staff that'll take great care of you. There's something to celebrate every day, open 7 days until late, parking available on site, happy hour weekdays 4 to 7 p.m. Go check out more at arubabeachcafe.com. Better yet, go in there yourself at Aruba Beach Cafe. Good food, drinks, friends, and laughter are always the catch of the day. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Kind of jam-packed edition, star-studded edition of the Lunchbox. Got Tony Segreto joining us as a guest. Also, the legendary Jeff Defo DeForest. To my left, and to my far right, your left at home, Joe Beja, the executive director of hospitality. I call him the king of hospitality.
He's the man.
Welcome back to the show, Joe.
You know, actually, because of my height, I prefer emperor of hospitality. That's okay. No, kidding.
Good one. And I was just paying a compliment about how good this daily fish special. I had the halibut today, and you said it's fresh caught.
Right? From your front yard after yesterday's rain. I felt so bad for you, Mike, watching you on Facebook as the water, you know, I always love. And here comes this
we had
big
a
truck
deluge.
with the wake zone and everything.
Deluge in southeastern Broward as usual. Got like 7 inches in about 2.5 hours, and I saw the water start coming up and up and up, and then it's just time to go right to the liquor cabinet and pour myself a nice heavy duty bourbon. And there's nothing else you could do. Luckily, it didn't get inside the house this time.
Thank
it
God.
Just kind of ruined my pool again, but these things can be rectified. But Joe, I got to first thank you for last week, the great time that we had at our, I guess we'll call it the second quarterly brunch bash with the Lunchbox crew, and fantastic job that you and your whole team did. So thank you. And then we got a big event coming up tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow is our first installment of the summer version of our Taste at the Track events. Tomorrow is burgers and
beers, burgers and brews.
Burgers and brews.
You got some good ones coming.
We do. We have some good ones. So we have Three Sons will be here.
Love them.
Tank Brewery will be here.
Jay Wakefield.
La Tropical will be here as well. God, why am I drawing a blank right now?
It's okay.
We have Jay Wakefield, of course, you mentioned.
To him all the time.
Winwood will be here. Vesa Sir will be here. So,
and the burger lineup, you sent me the menu last week. You got some really kind of exotic stuff. You got elk,
bison. We're gonna do a chicken bao bun as a version of a burger. We have a vegan burger, which I know
that's not a burger. No, I'm sorry. That's that I get DQ'd.
But it's even including. What's great is even the bun is beet, so it's pink. So it's gonna be something different.
I know.
Sorry. I know. And
I try to have an open mind.
Our 10-palm slider that you like, of course, will be on the menu.
I've been eating that every other week here. That's a really good item that you have on the menu.
And still tickets available. We've sold about a little over 200 tickets so far.
And you cap them, so
we cap it about 300. So we still got quite a bit.
And you got the VIP hour at the beginning if you want to get in before the big crowds arrive.
Right. VIP tickets are $75. That'll give you first choice of seating and get you in an hour before. And the GA tickets are $50 for 1 o'clock. And the event goes until 5, but food and alcohol stops at 4.
Nice.
That was general admission, not Gamblers Anonymous, right?
No,
right, exactly.
GA. I immediately came to attention and said, "Did I miss my meeting?"
There's VIP, which is always a good deal because to get here a little bit earlier and everything is nice and fresh. And
correct.
You get in before all the long. There's not long lines.
We do about 5 stations of all the different 5 to 6 stations plus a dessert station. So.
Did you have it, Defo? Did you have it?
What's that?
The opening race here at Gulfstream Park.
No, I was just watching. I had,
2-7-4.
I had thought about doing something, and I'm glad I didn't do it.
All right. Well, you can get the sure thing, which is the first in the, I guess it's a trifecta, a series coming up of burgers and brews tomorrow. And again, GulfstreamPark.com. You can get the tickets. It'll send you to a link.
To the link to purchase tickets.
And you can get the 3-pack for all 3 events. Do you want to talk about
Sure. The 3-pack will bring you 20% off. Same pricing, $75 for VIP, $50 each for the general admission. The next event after tomorrow will be Tacos and Tequila on August 26th. And then we have Bourbon and Barbecue on September 23rd.
Nice. It's going to be a great time. I'm going to be in tomorrow. If you come on out, say hi to me. I'll be here. I don't know if Lubie's going to make it out. I don't know if Defo, you're
Depends
always
how
more than
my
welcome.
bankroll holds up today.
Okay.
A lot
then
will
just
depend on today.
Do the sure thing and just
Yeah.
don't bet today and save it for tomorrow's
Yeah.
races.
There's no fun in that.
Doesn't have any
look,
discipline.
Live for today,
Well,
my friend.
I'll come for tomorrow, even if you don't have money, because the $50 includes a $2 betting voucher.
Yeah, you could turn
So we
that
could
into
start you off
1,000.
tomorrow, too.
I did parlay that at one time. I took my grandson's $2 betting voucher and turned it into 75.
There you go.
Yeah, so that was
That's
good,
always
yeah.
good. You have to show up with the kid that was here with Ken, the professor, last week. She got Cindy Lou Who
Yeah.
on her first pick at 10-1, and she was just rolling, and now she's hooked for life.
Always go with the
Poor
kids.
kid.
Right.
No, but Gulfstreampark.com to get the 3-pack for all these upcoming events. It's going to be a great time.
It really
and we
is.
always now, Tony, this is your first time doing a show up here in 10 Palms. Can you give a little critique to Joe B?
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Outstanding. The service, the approach, the dishes are all different. There was stacked high.
He sampled my fish. What do you
Yes,
think of the fish?
The fish was outstanding.
Yeah.
Thank
so,
you.
And I wish we could have.
Well, I wish we could eat the whole menu, and sometimes I do.
Well, we've done it. Yeah.
In an hour, too.
All right, it's contest. So we always traditionally wait till Joe B is here to conclude this week's contest, and of course, it's a weekly tradition. And thank you so much to 10 Palms and the people at Gulfstream who has now made this a year-round affair where we're having contest winners every week. You guys get it. And, everybody was saying, "Oh, it's too complicated." No, every week they come pouring in scores of entries. Usually, last week we ended up with 13 in the hat at the tiebreaker because that's what happens when favorites keep winning. This week's contest race, the 7th race on the card, a field of 10 fillies and mares going 1 mile and 70 yards. So, give me a number 1 through 10. Give me the answer to these clues with the restaurant. And send it to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow, Saturday, the 29th of July. And then you will either win or be in the hat with a chance to win on Monday's show tiebreaker. All right, Joe B. Today is July 28th. Do you know what today is?
I think you mentioned his Peruvian Independence Day.
There you go. That's it. He's listening. Somebody's listening.
There you go.
This is good. So because of that, we are spotlighting a Peruvian restaurant. It's in Miami's Design District, featuring Nikkei cuisine. I never know how to pronounce it, but it's the blend of Peruvian with Japanese influences, and it started as a small stall in a food hall before expanding to a full-scale restaurant nearby a few years ago. It's actually 2020 that they opened their full-scale restaurant. It's run by a family trio known as the Chang Gang, and it's a father, son, and daughter, Fernando, Nando, and Valerie Chang, known as the Chang Gang, and they've been lavish with critical acclaim and awards, including James Beard Award and Michelin Guide recognition. Do you have any clue what this restaurant is?
No.
Not yet.
Don't be
Okay.
Not
ashamed.
yet.
You're not alone.
This was especially hard this week. You're probably going to have to look it up on the Google. Number 3, the restaurant specializes in impeccable raw and marinated fish dishes, including tiraditos and ceviches. Have you ever had a tiradito?
Wouldn't know the difference. Yeah.
Okay, this guy. Have you had
Yes.
tiraditos?
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. It's
Yeah,
like if you're a
it's
sushi lover, you love the tiraditos,
Yes.
the ceviches. And the name of the restaurant comes from a Japanese word that for a master sushi chef that literally translates to "in front of the cutting board." So if anybody knows Japanese, if anybody knows terminology relating to sushi, that is
Aso Steakhouse. That's the name of the restaurant.
he makes me cringe.
Mike Mayo Eats at MikeMayoEats.com.
The restaurant specializes in impeccable raw and marinated fish dishes, including tiraditos and ceviches. Name comes from a Japanese word for a master sushi chef that literally translates to "in front of the cutting board." All right.
Is he doing too many gummy bears, Joe? What do you think? Coming
No.
up with this one? No.
No, I think it's your joke that's kind of putting him off. Although what you said for the Japanese word is exactly what Mike called that truck driver that went across our head.
Oh, the guy who was creating a wake zone and
Yeah,
splashing into
the guy
my
that
guest
created that
room.
wake zone in your
Oh
front
my
yard. Yeah.
God! I posted
What
some
he just said is
video.
what you call that guy.
Yeah.
It's
CBS
different
4
language.
almost used that video last night. I got a call from one of their producers that I used to work with at
All right.
the Sun
All
Sentinel.
right, so you said the name of this restaurant that nobody knows, and the winner of the race tomorrow at
Tell a
Gulfstream.
story here.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Well, you're
Oh, I'm gonna go and Google this in a second because I'm
He's
stumped because
curious.
I'm curious.
I've been there. It's a
and I'm-
really good
and
place.
I'm usually
I
pretty good when it
know-
comes to the Michelin stars since
I
it was
spot-
released.
Well, it wasn't a starred restaurant.
Okay.
Okay,
Was it a
it
Bib
was one of
Gourmand?
the Bib Gourmands.
Ah.
Okay, But again, if you just Google Chang Gang, you'll get it right away. So I try to make it a little challenging sometimes, folks. Make you have to go all the way to the phone and type in, Chang.
It's no
Gang.
fun if you do that.
And it's a great restaurant. If you get a chance, go down there. It is really, really good food. So as is the food here at 10 Palms. Again, another stellar Friday.
Thank you, Joe.
Good time, man. Thank you,
you.
Joe, man. Great
Joe
time.
B, we
Pleasure
got to
having you
wish
today.
happy trails. I mean, he's not going anywhere for good. He's going on a vacation. Another one.
Another one. This time's just daddy and daughter, father-daughter.
That is
Mom's
great
staying
time.
home for this one.
And you're getting a little baseball action.
Little
tomorrow,
baseball, a couple of Yankee games, maybe in a Cape Cod game while I'm up
That's
in
good.
Hyannis for a few days.
Tony Segreto, big Yankee fan. He's jealous, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, thanks so much for coming by.
I'll be
I
by
hope you
next
had
week.
fun.
We'd love to have you.
All
We'll put the
good.
halibut on the menu again.
Okay.
As the
Excellent.
catch of the day.
Oh, and just a quick word for our friends at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. The weekend is time for chilling and grilling at home. If you don't want to go out and deal with the crowds on a Friday, Saturday night at a restaurant, go into Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market. They got everything you need for whatever you want. Great steaks, great poultry, chicken wings. They've got pork chops. They've got sausages that they make in-house, turkey and chicken, along with the traditional pork sausage. And best of all, they have their fresh caught local seafood and also seafood from around the whole globe. They have, of course, the Maine lobsters. Florida lobster season starts August 6th, so they'll have in great lobster tails along with all the fresh fish, the snapper, the grouper, et cetera, et cetera. Go in to Delaware. Get your stuff. Open 7 days. DelawareChicken.com for the weekly specials and daily catch. Open 7 days. 4191 North State Road 7, right across from the classic Seminole Bingo Casino. All right, that's going to do it for this week.
Joe B,
Tony S, Jeff D, and Mike
Lubie
L.
Lubitz.
I'm Mike Mayonnaise, and everybody have a great weekend. And remember to enjoy every sandwich.